Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel.
Just a few days to go until the launch of the new league, the rise of the Abyssal, and yep, everyone's talking about it right now. Theory crafting is in full swing, speculation is flying, and everyone's trying to guess which build will be the new meta that will dominate the league. The devs are dropping so many changes and innovations. It's basically like we're getting a whole new game. Everyone's making videos about it, but I won't be doing that. Of course I will. Roll the intro. We've got a brand new Act 4 taking us to the Mysterious Islands. Massive changes to skills and the passive skill tree, reworks around elemental damage and curses, ascendancy tweaks, nerfs, buffs. It's coming in waves. But today's video isn't about breaking down every single change and update, because, let's be real, we could talk for hours. Instead, I'm diving into why I'm starting with a Blood Mage build again, and what my plans are for this character. Everyone's hyped about the new monk hand-to-hand combat, which lets you fight bare-fisted like a true martial arts master. And thanks to all the Ascendancy reworks, DeadEye is looking like the fan favorite right now. In my last video, I showcased my upgraded Hyper-Super Blood Mage build. Honestly, that was my favorite character throughout the entire Dawn of the Hunt League. So despite all the nerfs, yes, there are a lot, I'm going to try and build a Blood Mage that's just as good, or maybe even better. There's so much new stuff coming and so much we still don't know, that for now, I'm theory crafting with the info we've got. So let's break it down. How does this wave of changes affect my build, which focused on block chance and crit-based lightning spear? First, let's take a look at how the ascendancy points have changed for Blood Mage. All my information comes from the teaser video and the 0.3 patch notes. The small life passive skill prior to Sanguimancy has been removed. The Sanguimancy notable passive skill is now free to allocate. This means we save a point and can start directly with this node. Nice! The Life Remnant skill now grants spawns a remnant on hitting a target, instead of on critically hitting. Ergo, we don't need to have 100% critical hit chance to get remnants all the time, that will happen anyways. So even if we don't reach 100% critical hit chance, these remnants will still appear. The Gore Spike passive skill now grants 1% increased critical damage bonus per 50 life, previously 40, and has swapped locations with the Sunder the Flesh notable passive skill. Ergo, now you need 2 points to allocate this after the changes. It will require 4 points total. For instance, if we have 2,000 lives, that will be only a 40% increased critical damage bonus. It could have been 50% with the current setup. I think I won't activate this node just for the 40% extra damage. I'd rather spend it elsewhere. The Between the Cracks notable passive skill has been renamed to Sanguine Tides, and no longer provides critical hits ignore monster armor. Instead, it now provides gain 1 life flask charge per 4% life spent, and 50% less life recovery from flasks. It also now has when your life flask reaches full charges, 40% of its charges are consumed and gain 1% of damage as physical damage for 3 seconds per charge consumed this way. This is a huge nerf. The previous option was much better. The Open Sores notable passive skill has been renamed to Whispers of the Flesh, and no longer grants your curses have infinite duration. Instead, it now grants enemies affected by your curses have at least 15% of life reserved. This also feels like a big nerf, and I won't be using this node either. Let's see how the blocking system has changed. As you know, this is the base for this build. I mean survivability. We need to reach a 50% chance. Yes, the maximum is now 50% instead of 75%. Blocking is no longer limited to strikes and projectiles by default. All hits that are not specifically unblockable with the red flash can be blocked. Now this is a huge positive. Even though the block chance has been reduced, most attacks will still be blockable, so I'll continue to base my build around it. Player and minion and monster base maximum block chance is now 50%, previously 75%. But what's even more important is that this also means a significant damage reduction for the character. Since it uses 2 key nodes, Offensive Stance and Lay Siege, both provide 1% increased damage for every 1% block chance. So if it used to give 75% damage, now it only gives 50%. This is quite sad for us, as we're losing 25% increased damage from each node. The Glancing Blows Keystone passive skill now provides chance to evade is unlucky, and chance to deflect is lucky. It no longer provides block chances doubled, or you take 50% of damage from blocked hits. Ergo, we cannot double our chance to block, but we will have a new spirit-consuming skill called Magma Barrier that will increase the block chance by 25%. Therefore, the blocking chance cap will be reached easily, and since we no longer need to reach that node, we free up around 5 or 6 skill points, which we can spend elsewhere. Check the gear used by the character. The Tangle Tongue unique spear now has plus 5 to 8% to critical hit chance, previously plus 10 to 20%. One of the biggest nerfs I've seen, it'll be much harder to reach 100% critical hit chance. From the perspective of the Life Remnant ability, this isn't a big deal since it doesn't rely on critical hits. However, this spear has a property that affects Fork's critical hits. Critical hit chance and critical damage bonus apply twice if lucky. If we reach the weapon's maximum critical hit chance, it'll be around 8%, which can be increased through corruption, let's say up to 10% max. The Chernobog's Pillar Black Steel Tower Shield will be untouched. Therefore, the unique ability will still be there. Gain 1% of damage as fire damage per 1% chance to block. Sadly, the maximum will be 50% instead of 75%. The Coming Calamity. Heroic armor will be untouched. The Atsax Sight Helmet will be untouched. The Ingenuity Belt will be untouched. So it looks like all current unique items will still be usable for the build. But of course, once we know what the new unique items are, I'll take a look around to see if there's something better suited for the build. Skills used in the build and changes. Lightning Spear. Now fires 5 secondary bolts at all levels. Previously 3 to 8 at gem levels 1 to 20. No longer deals more damage when consuming a frenzy charge. Ergo, Combat Frenzy will not be needed. It means plus 30 spirits to spend elsewhere. Enfeeble. No longer has Curse makes non-unique targets deal 20 to 26% less damage. Or Curse makes unique targets deal 10 to 16% less damage. Curse now makes targets deal 21 to 29% less damage at gem levels 3 to 20. Nice. This is a very good change. Here is a quick summary of the changes. Pros. Lightning Spear no longer uses frenzy charges. More spirits available. Enfeeble is now stronger and more consistent across all enemy types. All current unique items remain usable. The Glancing Blows Keystone passive skill. No need to allocate, saving 5 to 6 skill points. Block-based mechanics are still viable despite nerfs. Deflect as a new defense method shall be combined with evasion rating. Cons. Critical hit chance is harder to reach with Tangle Tongue. Maximum block chance cap is 25% lower. The Gore Spike passive skill now grants 1% increased critical damage bonus per 50 life, previously it was 40. Offensive Stance and Lay Siege nodes now provide less damage due to lower block chance cap. Regardless of everything, I'm giving this character a chance. We still don't know what new passive skill points, unique items, skills, and other mechanics will be available. And I'm excited to see what combinations might enhance the build. And if it doesn't work out, well, I'll start a monk and go barehanded. Thanks for watching the video. See you at League launch, and most likely, I'll be streaming my journey till the endgame on YouTube and Twitch. See you at the next one. Take care.